you ever wondered if there are any signs in your numerology blueprint that could indicate that you are destined for immense riches and success? Wishful thinking. Well, let us explore this aspect of numerology by looking into the blueprints of some of the richest people on earth today, and let us find out if there are any similarities in the patterns that they have, and if we have any similarities with them and we have some luck. On the screen right now, you can see some of the important numbers of Elon Musk's blueprint. There are many more numbers, but I'm covering the main numbers which can give us a lot of clues about him. For simplicity's sake, I'm covering the base values and not getting into the details of the double-digit codes right now because we will be discussing many charts today. Now we're going to look at his core numbers first, and then we're going to look at the turning points in his life through his progressive chart. So as his core numbers, as you can see, we have birthday 1, life path 7, full name 3, soul 2, person 1. Majority number is not a core number, but I'm including it because it is one of the important numbers. Now let us look at his progressive chart and let us look at the year 2000, which was a major turning point in his life. And in the year 2000, he merged his online financial payments company XCOM with Confinity to become PayPal, and then on PayPal revolutionized forever the way people made online payments. Now the numbers that we can see which were activated during that time as his cycle numbers were 1, and 1 stands for creation, innovation, determination and development of a true individual. And it does not support partnerships, and so naturally we could see that he was ousted from his own company by the board in September 2000. And then on, being the creator, being the one, he came up with several ideas only to see substantial returns from all his ideas from 2009 onwards, and then we can see the number 8 activated during that time. And 8 is the time when there are high chances of success in business and commercial enterprises. Now let us come to our second example, Jeff Bezos, and you can see some of the important numbers from Jeff Bezos's blueprint on the screen right now, and his full name contains Y, and I consider Y to be a dual letter. So he has a double soul and a double personality. So you have his core numbers interacting with his cycle numbers or progressive chart, as you can see. And if we look into his cycle numbers, we can see that around the year 1994, we see very favorable cycle numbers, which are 3 and 5 that are activated for him. And both 3 and 5 are known to be activating luck factor in a big way. And it was in 1994 only when Jeff Bezos is known to have founded Amazon, which started growing rapidly. However, just having favorable cycle numbers is not enough to be able to accumulate that amount of wealth or go for that level of success. You also need to have the support of your core numbers. Your core numbers are indicative of your true potential. Each core number indicates a quality or a talent or a potential that you have. But the potential would get activated only if you get favorable or lucky cycle numbers like 1, 3, 5 and 8. However, even though 1 is a money cycle number, even though 1 is a strong number, when you can acquire money, but it can be a little bit difficult as compared to 3 and 5, because during a one time you need to stand alone, you need to believe in your qualities and your capabilities, you need to emerge as a true individual and a true creator and as a pioneer. So it involves a lot of fear, your deepest fears that you have to face, and you have to face your fears, fight alone and go for your dreams. And only when your core numbers are aligning with favorable cycle numbers, this kind of luck and wealth accumulation is possible. If you want to understand your core numbers, if you want to understand yourself better, you can definitely read my book All Is One. And then on, to align with your cycles, you can read my book Cycle of Nine, which will help you understand the flow of the cycles and how and what you have to do to gain the maximum benefits from your cycle. Both the books are available on Amazon and the links are provided in the description box below. Now it is time for us to move into our third example, and here we have Bill Gates. So on the screen right now, you can see Bill Gates' blueprint. Let us straight away move into his progressive chart. And if you look at his first grand division, it is ruled by the number 1. And we know he started early in life. You know, usually when you see the number 1 or this number 4 in the first initial cycles, such people tend to have an early start in life. Not necessarily monetary success, early monetary success, but definitely an early start. 1 gets to have innovation. 1 usually is an innovative number. It brings innovation and develops a true individual, while 4 tends to stick to something conventional. So both the numbers have an early start, but the nature of the two numbers are different. Now, if you look at Bill Gates' pinnacle cycles, we can see the reappearance of the very favorable number 3 and 5 and again 3, and the appearance of 3 started from the year 1987. Now, this surely means that some important event happened in or around his life around the year 1987, which turned him into a money magnet as we know today, and that event could be Microsoft going public in 1986. Again, we have a similar turning point which further accelerated his growth, and that could be the release of Windows 95 in 1995. So that was around the year 1996, and we can see him entering the pinnacle 5 around that time. Scarily accurate, isn't it? These calculations never go wrong. You know, if you want to calculate for yourself also, what are the turning points in your life, you can find the link in the description box below, where I have covered how you can calculate your pinnacles, periods, or grand divisions. You can also watch the log by clicking on the I button at the top right corner of the screen, or wait for the end of the log where you can find the link again. People who have achieved that level of success, who have achieved that level of wealth, have always harnessed the potential contained in their cycle numbers and their core numbers. They have never failed to be in sync with their numbers. And you too, if you are in sync with all your core numbers and cycle numbers and with the main theme that they have, you too can have a wonderful and fulfilling life. Maybe you don't have 1, 3, 5 or 8 like them as cycle numbers, but whichever number you have, it can give you a wonderful and fulfilling life if you are in tune with the main theme of the numbers. Now let us move on to our next example, who is none other than Mark Zuckerberg. And here we have repeats of 5 as his birthday and life path numbers. Now let me tell you that this is a very auspicious sign, you know. If a number repeats twice in your core number chart, the energy contained in the number is amplified. It's going to act like a master number. And we saw this kind of a repeat in Elon Musk's chart as well. And again, we have it here in Mark Zuckerberg's chart. So having one repeat of any number as your core number is known to be very auspicious, but having too many repeats, more than 2 repeats, is a bit of a lopsided balance. Now, when we come to his cycles, come to his progressive chart, we can see mostly again repeats of 5 and repeats of 1 as his pinnacle numbers. So 5 on one hand keeps the luck factor intact for him, gives him momentum and pace throughout, and 1 establishes him as a leader. 1, once again, as I said before also, is a path of the pioneer and the leader and the creator. And as I said before also, that 1 is not an easy path to tread. As to achieve success, during a one time, a person travels alone by showing faith in only his own abilities, conquering all challenges all by himself, improving himself every time. Also, when we look at his core chart, we see that he's a very flexible person who's always adaptable to change. He's always flexible. The double fives in his core chart give him a very quick mind, very fast reflexes, and quick grasping powers. The first pinnacle cycle was 1, obviously, which means an early start in life. But luck was always there, which was activated through determination, competitive spirit, continuous innovation to handle all the technological demands which were always growing for him. In 2015, we see some major developments like Facebook Live, introduction of reactions in Facebook, etc. While on the other hand, there's also a little shift towards the philanthropic side when he decided to share his wealth to address some of the major global challenges in education, health, and research. 2024, once again, right now, is going to be a fresh milestone for him. So let us see what happens. Now, this brings me to the final example that we're going to discuss today, and that is Mukesh Ambani. And as you can see on the screen, his very first pinnacle number, if we look at his progressive chart, his very first pinnacle number is 5, which gave him a fast pace and luck straight from the beginning of his life. As the first pinnacle numbers, 3, 5, and 6 are seen to be very lucky numbers. 3 and 5 ensure that you have social support and luck. And 6 ensures that you have complete care and support of your parents and family. Now in today's vlog, I have repeatedly mentioned that 8 is a pinnacle number that brings business success and prosperity. However, when 8 comes as your first pinnacle, it can sometimes be extremely good. Other times it can be equally bad as well, because 8 is a very dual number. 8 activates the principle of karma. As you sow, so shall you reap. So when it comes as your second or third or fourth pinnacles, it brings harvest or results of your past efforts. But as the first pinnacle, 8 brings results of your past life actions. Also, 8 does not indicate wealth that was not earned by you through your own efforts. It brings you results of your own actions. So the pinnacle 8 for Mukesh Ambani started in the year 2002 when his father Dhirubhai Ambani passed away. And this was followed by a succession battle between him and his brother Anil Ambani, which resulted in Reliance Industries splitting into 2, and then Mukesh Ambani was completely on his own, planning for the launch of Reliance Jio, and gradually Reliance Jio revolutionized the mobile industry in India forever. Now in his cycles, we see another interesting appearance, which is the appearance of the number 4 as his 2 major cycle numbers. Now this number does not directly indicate money luck, but it indicates stability, structure, efforts, and a need for modesty and humility. So even though he is ultra wealthy and can afford almost anything in this world, but people close to him may also perceive him as someone who is very grounded, conventional, humble, and modest. So from all the examples that we've seen today, we've learned that 1, 3, 5, and 8 are the money building numbers, with 3 and 5 being the easier ones, 3 being the easiest. 3 is easier than 5 because 5 too can be a bit unsettling, because 5 can sometimes bring a lot of information, ups and downs and events, but 3 surely brings social support and luck. 1 and 8 are a little more difficult than 3 and 5 because they need a lot of courage and effort. The courage to stand against a wave that could be against you and believe in your abilities. That is what is needed, and a lot of effort and driving force is needed which can be a little easier during the cycle of 3 and 5. 4 can also be a great money builder, but 4 doesn't give you sudden lucky money. 4 works in a step-by-step process. 4 would gradually build from the scratch by following a routine or step-by-step process, and one has to be modest, patient, and put in a lot of effort during a 4 time. To accumulate wealth, first you need to want to accumulate wealth. You need to understand wealth, how money works. Whether or not you understand money, whether or not you understand or want wealth depends on what core numbers you have. If you have numbers like 4, 6 or 8 somewhere in your core numbers or in the letters of your name, you definitely have an understanding of wealth. If these numbers are totally absent in your complete blueprint, then you may consider having some kind of numerology remedy so that you can get an understanding of wealth first. Having a wealth mindset means having the want to acquire wealth, then making plans to acquire wealth. Once wealth is acquired, managing the wealth, budgeting when needed, and making wise expenditures. Finally, it is important to understand that not all people are destined to have the same trajectory of experience. How you experience life is going to be quite different from how others would experience, because your life is going to have a unique course of its own. No two people would have or tread the same path. In today's world, in times of social media, it is very natural that we tend to compare our lives with others. But it is not correct. To maintain sanity, to maintain financial independence, we need to abstain from this process. We don't need to alter our lifestyles in order to fit into someone else's. They are having their peaks right now. We will be having our peaks in our own way. So if any account on social media makes you feel inadequate or inferior in some way, consider unfollowing all of them immediately. That is crucial for your financial independence and to create a life of abundance. Stepping away from a lot of things will help you have a peaceful and healthy mind. And a peaceful and healthy mind is above all wealth. I hope you enjoyed watching the log. Have a good day. Bye bye.